Hrushowy. Welcome to the stage, Neil, and Neil's going to take us away. So thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Sorry, I had to, my bike was parked illegally, so I had to go move it. Thank you very much, Tomas, and I want to congratulate you on a tremendous, tremendous set of speakers. I was very, very moved and impressed, and indeed, what I was going to talk about, I think has been talked about extremely eloquently. So I'll try to do some high-level closing remarks to pick up on some of the high points. There is a movement apace, and it's a wonderful movement, and you are part of it, and we are part of it here in San Francisco. And it's a movement that places art at the very center about how we think about our cities, that places creativity at the very center of how we solve our urban issues. And the speakers up here today have done a really, really wonderful job of speaking to that. And so, but I'd like to say that it's the beginning, and we are leaders in this. I'm a city bureaucrat. I work for the planning department. I'm an urban designer, and in partnership with YBCA, who John Mosconi was with, Deborah and I lead the Market Street Prototyping Festival. And in my group, the City Design Group, that's where the Parklet program lives, and the Pavement of Parks, and the Living Innovation Zones, and the whole tactical wing of the planning department. And what's incredible is that at the heart of the festival, there are two very, very simple principles, and that the future of the city, the design of our spaces, how we design the city, those decisions have to be made and brought a lot closer to the people who they impact. And the second is that the people in this room, people like yourselves, there's an incredible creative genius in San Francisco that for too long as city government, we have felt that we can bring solutions to our urban challenges. And I think the key thing behind the tactical urbanism movement in San Francisco is the reversal of that, and that we see the city as a tableau for you, for people, to come in and express their ideas. And so we are constantly trying to think of new ways to give new ways for you to come in and to share your creativity. And so whether it's bringing art from the playa or the prototyping festival or locally generated parklets and temporary plazas, that I would say it's a movement that is growing. It's something that I come away from today. I'm moved by how many people have come in and spoken about being civic artists, about being socially engaged artists, that they're doing art for a very express purpose of bettering the community. And that to me says that we've graduated from a level of, Matthew spoke about placemaking and an art place. We received a grant from Art Place for the Prototyping Festival from the NEA. So this is getting to a new level of recognition. And so I think as leaders, we have the obligation to think of what the next step is. And I think part of it is an attitude. We all share the attitude that we can make things better, that the act of creation is an act of empowerment unto itself. And it's something I think that we take for granted. And what we see in San Francisco, in too many communities, people don't share that sense of empowerment, that they can take action themselves and have a sense of agency in making their communities better. And so I think we're adding, and this comes straight from Deborah, we're adding a third principle to the Prototyping Festival, is that how do we inspire people in these communities who have been long neglected, to feel that they too could act, that they have the opportunity to make a difference, that their voices can be heard. And so that's a whole different game, and that's the type of work that John is leading right now in the Tenderloin and in the South and Market area. And it is a very different way of acting, and so we'll continue to work with you to generate these amazing prototypes. And just so you know that, yeah, we are coming back this fall. You can see some of the images from last year up there. There's going to be 30 new ones. We're also bringing back 10 from last time and working with Gray Area right here in that space, right where those posters are going to be 10 incubated prototypes that are going to go back out onto Market Street for up to 2 years. And to take the step from a prototype to a semi-permanent, and so that when we rebuild Market Street, we have incubated prototypes are ready to go and to be part of the new public life landscape of Market Street. But the big action for us is to take the lessons we've learned and to go into the communities and work on that sense of empowerment, Because I think at a time, I think we would all agree that there are too many cases where people feel that change is happening to them. Things are happening from the outside that are beyond their control. And that one of the roles of government is to make sure that, to the extent that we can, that we bring forces back and say to people, no, you can make a difference yourself in your own communities. And so taking the lessons of Market Street, applying them there, but going in, and as you think about your art and into the communities you want to work in, there's grand spaces in San Francisco, and I'm sure some of you will have your art in Civic Center and along the waterfront and on Market Street. You know, these are spaces that are so public, they're owned equally by everyone, but then there are the communities, the small neighborhood areas where the great sense of pride in the local space. What can we do with them? You know, what does the art look like there? And I think I would echo many of the speakers who say that it's socially engaged art is actually finding a new way to work with the community and help them design, help them fabricate, and work alongside of you, because that act of creation is the sense of empowerment that I think you probably feel when you see your art out there and other people appreciating it. And that is the very first beginning step of hopefully them seeing themselves as actors in their own neighborhoods. And so as you work there and as we work there, I hope we find people. I know there's people out there who are already making small differences in their neighborhoods, and they fly under the government's radar. We don't know about them. We only hear about the leaders of neighborhood associations and people who get up and make a lot of noise. And because it takes more time to find these other actors. But they're there, and I think those are the ones that we are really, really excited to meet. And maybe some of them are here today. And those are the people who are going to be the next leaders, and because they are already expressing the sense of commitment to the communities through that act of creation. And so I have an open invitation to always, the planning department is sometimes called the guerrilla department of the city. We try to push things, we get in trouble sometimes, but at the end of the day, I think we really believe in bringing those decisions and empowering the communities to make the decisions for themselves, especially in their public spaces. And so I really would look forward to hearing from many of you if we can, and to support a partnership. You know, Tomas, you know, the whole theme of today of how do you bring a group like this to the streets of San Francisco, I say let's do it. It'd be great. I think your organization, along with Gray Area and YBCA, we have the actors, and we have the Arts Commission, and we have the resources right now to actually make something happen. And I think we have the people as well, and so I'd be really excited to see that come to fruition. And maybe let's work on that this coming year. Thank you very much.